am Ross Pitt Shark Hunter. Here with me today is Wizzy Puff.
Yes, master.
Welcome to the Ross and Wizzy's fanfiction scary hour. Where all through the month of October we read a spooky fanfiction from the My Little Pony fandom. Where'd everybody go?
Aw, man, I guess I got tired of the voices.
That must have been it. And this is definitely not a terrible idea for a podcast, that's for sure. Well, for those of you who are still with us, hi. So yeah, I told you the basic gist of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the best intro we've had in a while now.
I really liked your voice.
Thank you, Wizzy. I tried for so long to get this right.
But today we're going to be reading quite a spooky fanfiction called Look Who's Torturing Now by Scooter the Skitty.
That reminds me of Scooter Tricks Studios.
It reminds me of the Pokemon Skitty.
Fuck you.
No.
Okay.
All right. Without further ado, Look Who's Torturing Now, Chapter 1. Twilight opened her eyes. There was darkness. Complete, utter darkness. She blinked a few times and tried to bring one of her hooves up to her face to assure herself she hadn't gone blind, but she couldn't move it. Her eyes widened a bit as she then tried to bring her hoof up, but it didn't budge. They both felt as if they had been cuffed to the bed somehow. She panicked in realization of this and squirmed, yelping softly with anxiety.
What the heck is going on?
She thought to herself.
Spike?
She called out loud. There was no response. Instead, there was light. A dim light appeared over Twilight, making her flinch from the sudden brightness. When her eyes focused, the first thing she saw was a drill that hung above her, aimed directly at her chest. A bit more worried, she called out again.
Hello, any pony?
Hello, Miss Sparkle, replied a deep, masculine, menacing voice from a speaker nearby. It was a voice that sent chills down Twilight's spine and could most likely intimidate any stallion or mare. The pony who owned that voice sounded as if he had a sinister plan in mind. That is not what I intended with that voice. And
Clearly
Twilight
not.
wasn't sure she liked it.
I thought this was supposed to be a spooky story, Wizzy. You're just gonna do a voice like that?
I'll improve it. Let's just go.
Who are you?
She asked with a slight stammer.
It's none of your business who I am. In fact,
Okay.
I don't think you'll be around long enough to know who I am, but I know who you are.
That's not very surprising. Almost everybody in Equestria knows the name Princess Sparkle. But for you, it's Her Royal Highness Princess Sparkle, ever since my coronation.
Twilight pointed out.
Indeed they do. However, I know more about you than the normal pony does. I know your friends, your history, everything. In fact, I believe I know more about you than, well, you.
He
Oh
chuckled
my
a bit to
god, it's a
himself,
brony.
leading Twilight to raise an eyebrow.
You do?
Yes, indeed, if the leaks are right.
The voice answered.
Since I know so much about you, I suppose you want to know about me, correct?
All I want to know is why I'm here. And why is there a drill pointing directly at me?
How rude.
The voice coughed.
Cough. Although it is a perfectly reasonable reaction to have in your current situation, But before I shed some light on the scenario, may I ask one question myself?
Twilight groaned with annoyance as the voice continued.
Would you like to play a little game?
Twilight tugged at the braces around her hooves and deadpanned.
Not particularly. Do you think there's a Saw fan fiction? Maybe we should read that.
I feel like this is it.
This is rated T for teens.
Well, it's also
How?
a comedy fan fiction, so...
Well, that is true. Saw is butt-fuckingly hilarious.
Yeah, we could probably find a good Saw fan fiction for one of the drama episodes.
I doubt it. Even so, it will probably need to be a longer fan fiction, so...
Well, that's too bad. You don't really have a choice since your life is on the line.
The voice said, making Twilight flinch with surprise.
Excuse me?
Twilight asked.
You see those cuffs that have you restrained on your bed? The only way to escape them is by unlocking them with a specific key. But the key is inside your stomach at the moment.
Excuse me?
Twilight asked again, this time with even more exasperation.
You heard me correct. The key to freedom is inside your stomach. And you must take the scalpel that's to your side and cut open your stomach before the drill cuts you open.
Man. I screwed it up. There's no scalpel.
Twilight interrupted.
What?
Twilight shifted her eyes towards both of her sides and failed to.
There's no scalpel. Guys, if you haven't already, go into the description and read this yourself. If not, and you just want to listen to us, that's fine. Just go down and give it a like. It's for the author's sake.
Seriously, if you don't have a fanfiction account, it's so easy to make one.
Yeah, it's like 5
just like
clicks.
It was so easy.
A couple more than 5 on the keyboard, but you know. There's no scalpel here.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you. God.
Okay, hang on. Let me just... Alright, stay there. Stay right there. Don't move. I'll get some more sleeping gas, and there'll be a scalpel right to your side when you...
The voice stopped talking when he heard the sound of a magic spell being cast. With that, Twilight teleported out of the cuffs and next to the bed.
Wait, did you escape from the cuffs?
Well, I am an alicorn. I'm more than capable of escaping from a few pieces of metal. Well, funny thing about that.
Did something like that happen in the show?
Well, Celestia and Luna are alicorns, and they keep on not escaping.
How? They're supposed to be like the most powerful alicorns.
Bad writing. Also, no, Twilight's definitely the most powerful. Friendship is magic, after all.
Okay, fair. But, like, at the beginning, she's not, I think.
Yeah. At the beginning, she doesn't know a single thing about friendship.
But, yeah, and shows...
She becomes the princess of friendship. That's character development, guys.
That is character development. But in shows like that, you know, I always just like to make the assumption that whatever is holding them down is somehow magically enchanted to not let them escape it with their powers.
No, no, no.
The voice complained in agony.
That's not fair. You're supposed to be screaming and begging for mercy.
I'm begging for mercy.
Ah.
I'm not gonna be begging for mercy from some villain that I can't even see. Stupid head. You're so dumb.
I mean, sometimes it's the villains you can't see that are the scariest, Twilight. Like, come on, you've defeated every villain you could see. How about the ones you can't see? You haven't defeated them, Twilight.
Well, actually.
Oh my god. Did I seriously just... I thought I was so safe in saying that.
I mean, she wasn't looking at Somber when she defeated him, basically, so... Well, the first time. But no, you were actually right about that.
Okay, phew.
I was just fucking with you.
Man.
Halloween is the time for japes and jokes.
Halloween is the time for jungle japes. Donkey Kong reference. At this point, the menacing voice sounded less threatening, even with its dark tone. It actually almost sounded like a whining fool who didn't get what he wanted for his birthday.
But you need to, because I am the one trying to torture you.
Twilight finally had enough with the voice and ignited the speaker ablaze with her magic. The speaker slowly burnt to a crisp, silencing the voice emitting from it.
Emitting.
Yes, I said emitting. I was going to say...
Emitting.
Well, you see, I'm doing a special voice, Ross. It's supposed to sound very, scary.
Yeah, but that special voice could still do for some proper pronunciation.
Fine.
What an annoying pony.
Twilight put simply.
Dang it! Twilight escaped!
A male pony exclaimed to himself in a high-pitched voice that cracked audibly. Oh man, I should have done that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and redo it. Don't even cut out the first one.
Dang it! Twilight's escaped!
The pony's body or face could not be seen, however, as he was wearing a hockey mask and a black cloak to conceal his identity. This is some big nerd who's just like a fanboy of Twilight, isn't it?
Well, probably.
He was sitting at a desk looking at 6 television monitors lined up into 2 rows of 3. The top left one projected an empty metal bed with a dim light over it, and the other 5 were pitch black. He sat back down in his swivel chair and scooted up closer to his desk, which had several different colored buttons lined up in a row placed towards the back of it, and a microphone that was perched close to him. He was a torturer, and even though this would be his first session, he thought it would go reasonably well. He does have 6 shots at this. What could go wrong? Why was it... For your first victim, why would you choose Twilight Sparkle? That's like you're supposed to be like
you didn't think that through.
8th or 9th. Come on, dude.
Okay, calm down, calm down. We'll worry about her later.
The torturer reassured himself as he rubbed his temples gently. He waited a few seconds to relax and sighed. Looking back up at the monitors, with a press of a button, the monitor lit up dimly, revealing a cute yellow Pegasus with a pink mane, passed out and chained to a wall. He coughed a bit to clear his throat and pressed another button that was placed on the microphone.
Fluttershy! Wake up.
He said. In the room, Fluttershy heard the same deep, dark voice as Twilight did, and immediately shut up.
Oh my gosh, who's that? Who's there? I guess that works.
Love it. Fluttershy panicked loudly, her wings flapping in fear.
Who I am is none of your concern. What matters if...
Eep, your voice is so terrifying. Where am I? I want to go home.
Fluttershy's eyes watered gradually with tears of paranoia over what this mysterious and ghastly voice could have wanted from her.
What matters is...
Mommy.
Okay, may I get a sentence, please?
The voice yelled, making Fluttershy squeak. She stayed silent with tears still in her eyes and waited for the voice to speak again.
What matters is...
Before he could continue his thoughts, Fluttershy immediately began sniffling again.
Okay, I'm going to torture you. That's what I'm trying to say.
And with that, Fluttershy fainted. The voice growled in annoyance. He turned off his microphone and spoke once more in his normal, high-pitched, nerdy voice. All right, I'm just going to try and do a different voice for this type of voice now. Why won't these ponies cooperate? He sighed again and pressed another button. With sharp metal rotating blades throughout and flaming hoops, it looked so hazardous that any pony who would dare try to complete it would easily meet a gory and devastating end. And Rainbow Dash was sitting at the end, of course, lounging on her back and gazing at the ceiling. I was really hoping it would be Rainbow Dash when I was describing the whole thing. I was like, she's totally just gonna go through it and win.
What the... How did...
The torturer quickly turned on his microphone and yelled at Dash through the speaker.
How could you have finished my death course before I even gave you the instructions?
Rainbow nonchalantly eyed the speaker and then looked back towards the ceiling.
Because I'm awesome. Also, are you the one who made this obstacle course?
Yes, I made this obstacle course. You weren't supposed to complete it.
Oh, really? I thought it was too easy. You know, in the Saw movies, they are supposed to complete it. And Jigsaw's an idiot.
Jigsaw's not an idiot. Why would you say that?
He's a complete moron.
He's like so cool.
No, he's not.
Come on. I have not actually watched them in a while. I probably will watch like at least the first one again this October, but the biggest thing
The first one, and I think the third one, if I'm not mistaken. Those are the only two I can stand. The first one, good, not great. The third one, it's okay.
I remember like the first and second were pretty great, and then it just like got worse throughout each edition.
Ooh, Saw 3D, man, that was just...
The biggest thing I remember about Jigsaw was that no one would like trust him when he gave them the instructions for the the thing they had to do, which, you know, it makes sense. They don't know him, they shouldn't be trusting him, but also he never lied. He just like gave them the instructions and was like, do this.
Yeah.
And if they did it, they could get out.
Never actually saw like the movie Jigsaw. I watched Saw 3D and was like, I'm done.
Oh, you never actually
Finished
watched the
with
first one?
No, I watched up until Saw 3D, and after that movie, I was just finished with the franchise.
Yeah, I've seen every one, but I don't really remember them too well. Anyway, we should be getting
Have you seen
back
Spiral?
to this. What was that?
Have you seen Spiral? From the Book of Saw.
No. What is that?
It's the spin-off that came out, done by the one guy. I can't remember his name right now.
Oh, I remember the remake that they did recently, Jigsaw, and I would watch that, but I did not watch Spiral. I've never even heard of it. So I should probably watch it.
Yeah, you should.
All right, getting back to the story now.
Yes, the story.
Too easy. Do you know how long this obstacle course took to build? Days. I spent hundreds of bits building this. I had to work overtime at Hayburger. Do you know how many mares give birth in the bathroom?
What the fuck?
What the heck?
How many?
Dash asked with hesitation. 3, I know, because I delivered all of them.
Oh, that is the last place you would want to be born. Or give birth.
Dash cringed and spoke again.
Oh, I'm so sorry that your course wasn't that difficult. I guess I'm too awesome. I'm kind of
right
going whatever this type of accent is. It's a bit British.
It sounds kind of British. The torturer almost popped a blood vessel. Scratch that. He did pop a blood vessel, and it stung. He turned off the microphone and bucked the monitor's screen with his front hoof, cracking it.
Gah!
The torturer screamed in pain, looking at his bruised hoof.
That's my button-pressing hoof.
He exclaimed before sucking on it like a little foal.
Ow, ow, ow.
With a small pause, Dash asked the speaker.
So, take it you don't have any more obstacle courses for me to finish, eh?
He just turned kind of Canadian.
Canadian.
You're turning from like a American jock to British jock to Canadian jock. The enraged torturer turned the microphone back on.
Shut up!
He yelled as he turned the lights back off in her chamber.
Hey, that's rude.
he heard Dash yell. Still sucking his hoof, the torturer turned off the microphone and leaned back in his seat and exclaimed to himself,
Why? What's so wrong about kidnapping 6 bears and wanting to torture them?
After hearing his
Thank
voice
you.
echo within his room, he sat back up and said,
Oh, yeah. Never mind.
The torturer shook his head and looked back at the monitors.
Okay, Twilight escaped, Fluttershy fainted, and Dash is, well, a jerk. I have 3 more tries before I get this right.
The monitor in the bottom left corner lit up, showing an alert in Apple... Okay, hold on. The monitor in the bottom left corner lit up, showing an alert Applejack tied up from head to tail with rope, squirming to try to break free.
Erg, what in tarnation is happening?
She yelled to any pony in particular. After the torturer recovered from Pinky's traumatizing, he spoke into the microphone. Wait.
Hold on, what?
Pinky, that's Rainbow Dash. Did it just like skip to do a time skip or something?
Maybe, but they did like a time skip-ish earlier.
I'm guessing it's probably just a mistype.
Yeah. Whoopsies. Sorry, we've caught you.
Well,
Well, Applejack of Sweet Apple Acres. It's about time I moved on to you.
Where am I?
Applejack asked.
And where's my friends?
Your friends. I've just been playing with them.
Playing?
And by that I mean I've been torturing them.
He laughed evilly into the microphone, attempting to instill some fear into Applejack. Unfortunately, it had no effect, as Applejack just stopped squirming and looked at the speaker with a disinterested expression.
You're bluffing,
She said.
Oh no, I'm not bluffing at all. I've been torturing them all, and I am good at it.
No, me never bluff. Are you sure? They're not getting on your nerves, are they?
She asked with a slight smirk.
Quiet!
The torturer boldly boomed at her. She jumped a bit, startled from the sudden outburst of the deep voice.
Now, you must pay for your...
He put a hoof on his chin to think of an appropriate word to use in this situation.
Sass?
Oh, what the hey? You shall pay for your sass, Applejack.
He declared, flipping a switch on his desk. Applejack felt herself being raised up an inch or two as she looked to her side. There were now 2 train tracks that stretched across the visible part of the room and towards the vast distance of darkness which seemed to go on forever. Toot! She heard a train whistle and moved her eyes towards her left. What was that?
Farting.
Oh, how immature. A bright light could be seen edging towards her. It got closer and closer and became clearer and clearer as the torturer talked into his speaker.
You have only a few minutes left, Applejack. Aren't you scared?
She paused for a second before looking bored again.
Not really.
The torturer's enthusiasm and commitment to scaring Applejack dropped immediately.
You aren't? There's a freaking train going to run you over.
Can't say this isn't a normal Saturday for me.
Oh, Granny Applejack.
She's bluffing.
The torturer exclaimed in his head.
All right, no holding back. Prepare to be scared, AJ. Very well, then.
The torturer gripped the switch firmly with his hoof and thrust it forward.
No holding back. Full speed ahead.
He grinned maniacally as the train started to build up some speed. Toot toot! Applejack didn't even look away from the speaker. She kept staring it down menacingly, making the torturer a bit uncomfortable. What was that? What was that a reference to?
Nothing.
Oh. You came up with that on the spot.
Yep.
You know, I could turn this off if you that make you just the slightest bit scared. Just say the magic words.
I am not afraid of you, and there's nothing y'all can do to change that.
That sentence alone made the torturer sweat bullets. Applejack was either really stubborn, really stupid, or just didn't care much for living anymore. Probably all three. The torturer skulked as the train kept chugging along the tracks, getting louder and louder with each passing second. Soon, the train was visible from the dim light on the ceiling, promising to strike Applejack where she lay. Toot, toot! The train finally came into view, revealing that it was simply a motorized toy train, one that small foals could ride. The small train was rolling down the track at an impressive speed of 2 miles per hour before it gently tapped the side of Applejack's head.
Jesus.
The small impact caused the train to fall over on its side and land on its off button.
Why isn't this a
Toot,
rated M?
toot. Wait, why would it be rated M?
Train slaughtering.
Oh my god. I thought you were being serious at first. I was like, did you just read ahead and read like some sex scene?
No.
Applejack stared at the fallen train for a few seconds before glaring back at the speaker with annoyance. The torturer opened his mouth to speak, but could not find any words to defend himself on the issue.
I'm sorry for wasting your time.
He apologized as he turned the monitor off. With a press of another button, the next monitor lit up, revealing a sleeping Pinkie Pie. Oh, so I guess he hasn't gotten to her yet.
Well, well, well.
Curled up like a cat with a ball and chain attached to her hind leg. Oh no, that poor kitty. A rusty saw was laying next to her. Okay, this one is based off the first one. Waiting to be used. She yawned and stretched. Opening her eyes slowly, she felt the cold concrete ground with a hoof and sat up.
Must have been a sleepwalking again.
The speaker next to her started to emit a low-pitched, spine-tingling voice.
There was no mere accident, Pinkie, but...
Ah! Spooky voice!
So who are you doing now?
There's a trope called the hysteric. I haven't read what it actually is, but it's called the hysteric, so I'm doing something like that, I guess.
Yeah. In fear, she instinctively picked up the heavy steel ball that she was chained to and smashed the small speaker into bits. Ooh, she can use those to buy something. See, I'm making a joke off of their currency.
Oh.
The torturer stared at the pieces of broken metal and wires and put a hoof to his forehead.
Oy vey.
He looked down at his desk, trying to find a specific button to aid him. After some time, he finally found the switch labeled "In Case of Pinkie" and pulled it down. From the ceiling, another tiny speaker fell, landing in Pinkie's mane.
Hey, don't smash those.
Pinkie stopped panicking and gasped, squishing her cheeks together with her hooves.
Is that my cricket?
Excuse me?
The speaker asked.
Everybody knows that there's an itty-bitty little cricket inside of their head telling them what's right and wrong. Are you my cricket?
The torturer turned off the microphone for just a second. I don't know where I got "justa" from. Needing to slam his head on the table to make sure.
Nuts.
Ross, come on. There's a time and place and a need for sense when you make a "these nuts" joke.
Sense of these nuts.
Needing to slam his head on the table to make sure he wasn't dreaming. He didn't wake up and turned it on once more.
Yes, Pinkie, I'm your conscience.
Yay! Hi, cricket.
Hello, Pinkie. Would you like to play a little game?
He asked her with a bit of a sinister tone.
Oh, yes. Do you want to play checkers? Backgammon? Twister? How about Boggle? You like Boggle?
She didn't say that. Where'd you get that from?
Saw how it should have ended.
All good choices, but mine's more High stakes.
Oh, I get you now. Texas Hold'em.
No.
Euchre?
No.
52 card pickup. I also count the how to play cards as an added challenge.
Pinky, focus.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Cricket.
Pinky apologized before smiling adorably.
Now, you see that saw to your left?
The speaker asked. Pinky looked to her side and replied,
Yes, sirree.
You must cut off your leg in 5 minutes, but...
Oh, got it. Yeah, that's more like
Immediately.
Rorschach from Watchmen or Mad Max rather than Saw. Because there was a way to beat that trap, and it was just not to flail around when you woke up.
Yep. Immediately, she grabbed the saw with her mouth and sliced her hind leg off.
Pinky, wait! Don't do a what?
There was no blood whatsoever. There was only a leg on the floor, a ball and chain, and a freed pink pony.
Everyone knows
Pinky
that
picked up
Pinky's
the
leg
leg
is made of wood.
Is that true?
No, she's just very
Aw.
malleable.
Oh.
She's like Play-Doh. Or
Is that true?
stretchier stuff. Like, you know, the gack? She's like gack.
Okay, what is this, like a cannon?
Not officially, but like she's been able to like break herself apart and stuff.
Oh.
She doesn't do that for anything useful. When the stakes get serious, but yeah, she has toon logic.
Pinky picked up the leg with her mouth and put it next to her wound. Immediately, the leg fused back to her body as she stood back up and cheered.
I win! I win! I win!
She exclaimed, hopping around in a circle.
How did you?
Oh, I've played that game hundreds of times. You want to see another game similar to that?
Oh my god. That voice is so good.
Thank you.
Before the torturer had time to answer, Pinky pulled a sharp drill out of her mane and closed one eye, leaving the other wide open. She gradually closed the distance between the drill and her eye before the torturer quickly shut off the monitor.
Ew, no, gross.
He cringed, turning off his microphone.
Dear Celestia, what is wrong with her?
He closed his eyes and rubbed them, trying to get the image out of his head. He quickly pressed the button to turn off the monitor and groaned loudly, laying back in his swivel chair and feeling defeated by these mares.
I've only got one mare left. Rarity.
He sighed sadly before turning on the final monitor and saw something that brought a smile to his face. She was restrained to a dirty metal bed by several rugged leather belts, squirming and screaming for mercy.
Help, help. Oh my word, this bed is filthy.
She actually looks like she's in pain.
Thought the torturer.
Not easily shrugged off pain, not agonizingly hard to watch pain, but just the perfect amount of agony.
Some pony help me, please. I think my mane's getting dirty.
Ah, Rarity, you're my last victim.
A victim? What are you talking about?
I'm finished with your friends, finally, and so now I'm moving on to you.
Rarity gulped and shivered, her voice getting shaky.
What are you gonna do to me? Oh, little old me.
Oh, I have the perfect punishment for you. Something old-fashioned and yet timeless.
He looked at his desk and pulled a switch. A giant blade suddenly swung down and cut through the air above her, missing her by a few inches.
Miss Rarity, I introduce you to Mr. Pendulum.
The blade
Hi, I'm Mr. Pitt.
slowly came to a... What?
Pitt and the Pendulum. And
Is that a thing?
It's funny because I'm Ross Pitt. It's an Edgar Allan Poe story. That's where this comes from.
Oh. I never heard of that.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Ross, stop it. Oh my god.
You are such a disappointment.
Well, at least I'm something. The blade's momentum slowly came to a stop when it had barely touched the ceiling and swung back down across the other direction, making Rarity's eyes widen with fear.
Here it comes, the pleas for help.
He snickered. Oh yeah, that's what that would sound like.
Look, man, people are sleeping. Pinky's gonna be about the highest I go on this one.
The scream was so high-pitched, it was severely painful to hear for any pony within a 100-mile radius of her. Ross, come on, that was not what you did at all. Unfortunately for the torturer, he had unwittingly set up Rarity's room right next to his control room.
Ah, holy buck, my ears!
Fucking idiot.
The torturer screamed in pain. He held onto his ears to block out her piercing screams and quickly tried to turn the monitor off in an attempt to silence her. But it was no use. The sound was still heard, loud and clear. The Rarity's shrill screaming was so excruciating to the torturer that he fell over in pain. He begged and pled to Celestia for the screeches to stop, but his prayers were left unanswered. He tried with all his might to reach for the button to stop the pendulum, but he couldn't bring himself to get up. It was too damn agonizing. And after what felt like an hour, it had only been 30 seconds, a recognizable purple alicorn burst through the door with earplugs in her ears. It was the torturer's first victim, Twilight Sparkle.
Did you just say the torturers?
No.
Can we
Did
get a replay on that one?
It was the torturer's first victim, Twilight Sparkle.
Hey, that was just you saying that again. I want a replay of the
What do you mean?
first clip.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm just trying to redo it so you could edit it together. It was the torturer's first victim. The torturer's first victim. Torturer's...
All right, mister.
She interrogated in a loud voice that she could be heard over Rarity's shrieks.
I want some answers right now.
Just take me to jail.
Take me to
The
church.
torturer pled as he took off his mask, revealing a nerdy, pimple-infested face under it. I knew it. I was right.
Yeah, but you went way more young.
Please make her stop. Wait. Please make her stop. I can't take it anymore with you ponies. You're all insane.
Excuse me?
Twilight asked, confused from the pony begging for mercy.
I'll tell you everything you need to know. My name is Sinewave. I'm 19 years old, and I'm still a virgin.
Why would he tell her that? She
So
didn't
now
want to know
he
that.
can't die.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Their law that you can't die until you've had sex.
Yeah.
He cried out, pointing in the direction of Rarity's hollering. Twilight gazed down at Sinewave, who was so obviously in pain. Being the princess of friendship that she was,
She
and
snapped
after
his
many
neck.
adventures that dealt with forgiveness and making amends with others, oh my god, she's totally gonna do that. She felt sympathy for the poor thing. Then again, the jerkwad did kidnap them.
Give her 5 more minutes.
Twilight said. A few hours passed after the incident, and the 6 of them and Spike were all outside of the jail.
What about
After watching the...
what happened to Spike?
He wasn't kidnapped. He was too easy.
Was
How did he kidnap the main 6 and not think through each of their puzzles more?
He's only 19, man.
Then how was he able to kidnap the main 6?
Well, you just drug him.
Oh, yeah. He, just, went to the party and put something in their drinks.
Yeah, you just put a little aspirin in there and out they go. Or however,
Yeah, aspirin.
whatever drugs. I am a narc. I don't know a thing about drugs.
I can't remember the name of the drug that people drug drinks with. I'm such a square.
ADHD. That's not a drug. Yeah, you are a square.
After watching their captor being put behind bars, save for a small bruise of Applejack's head after the toy train collided with her head, they were all safe and sound.
I'm so glad you guys are all right.
Spike exclaimed, hugging Twilight in a tight grip. Twilight giggled at the baby dragon and returned the hug with her wing.
Of course we're all right. I mean, this isn't our first kidnapping.
I know, but this guy could have seriously hurt you all.
Spike ran over to Rarity and began to hug her as well, giving her an sad, teary frown.
And I couldn't let that happen.
Rarity couldn't resist how adorable Spike was and hugged him tight.
I'm sorry, my little spiky wacky.
Twilight kept looking towards the jail with flattened ears and a very sad face.
Poor Steinway. That pony just wanted some friends to spend time with.
Oh, never mind. I thought that was, for some reason I thought that was Twilight.
No.
Anyway. Dash looked at Fluttershy with surprise.
You seriously feel sorry for him? That pony just tried to kidnap us.
Spike sniffed and immediately stopped crying. He blushed deep and smiled before suddenly realizing something.
Wait a second. I just realized. What was this pony's motivation for kidnapping you all?
His goal was to try to,
Twilight paused for a second uncomfortably.
seduce a mare into getting into a relationship with him by creating this torture character to scare us. He would then rush in to save the day by stopping the machine. The mare falls in love with him. They start going out. And what happens next is way too inappropriate for a baby dragon to hear.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Oh, Sinewave, you creep.
Yeah.
Spike rolled his eyes, remembering once again that he was just a baby.
But wait, what if something went wrong and he accidentally did end up maiming one of you?
Well, Spike, almost everything, it turns out, was made out of plastic to ensure safety.
What about Pinky's saw?
What was Pinky again? Crap. You'd think I'd cut my leg off, but nope. Just a little party trick I did once at a little Philly's 3rd birthday party. Oh man,
my god.
I wasn't allowed near her for weeks after that. Although the plastic looked convincing, once I found some Nightmare Night decorations while lurking around the factory, I was more than sure the whole thing was a ruse. I mean, I believed that pendulum was fake, darling. It's called acting.
She exclaimed, moving her chin up to the sky and striking a pose. And striking a small pose at that.
Yeah, the price tag for the toy train was literally right next to me on the floor with a fancy schmancy sciencey name like Sinewave. He was pretty dang dumb.
I mean, even I knew it was all fake.
Fluttershy smiled a bit. Spike smiled back, knowing his friends were never in any real danger, before suddenly asking one last question.
One final thing. How come it was you six in particular that got kidnapped?
Because, Spike, we're freaking hot.
Bow! Rainbow responded.
Dash, you're completely
Twilight
right
blushed in
about
embarrassment.
me being hot. That's for sure. But Fluttershy over there, a bit dorky if you ask me.
Oh my god, why would you choose Fluttershy? Come on. She already has enough self-esteem issues.
She's the nerd of the group.
Yeah.
Though maybe I should have picked Applejack because she's old as fuck. Dash,
Twilight blushed in embarrassment.
that couldn't be true, right?
Well, pretty much every pony in Equestria knows that we're the elements of armory and all that. I guess we're seen more as attractive to others, I suppose.
Applejack answered. Twilight thought for a bit, wondering if that was true.
Huh. Well then.
Oh, now that we're free, do you girls want to go get some ice cream at Sugar Cube Corner?
Pinky asked.
Oh, you read my mind, Pinky.
Dash exclaimed.
Last one there is a rotten apple.
She quickly flew to Sugar Cube Corner, leaving the others in the dust.
Hey, that's cheating, Dash. I'll get you
Applejack
one of these
said.
days. Oh, wild.
Applejack said, chasing after her. The rest of them made their way to Sugar Cube Corner at a moderate pace, Twilight walking slower than others. She took a look back at her flank and stared at it for a long period of time.
By Celestia's shining sun, I am attractive.
That is the moral of the story.
Hell yeah. It's great to see some self-positivity. Epilogue.
That is the epilogue. What?
Yeah, epilogue. You didn't
Oh
remember
shoot,
that?
there's an epilogue. I forgot there was 2 chapters in this thing.
Yeah, there's a reason I didn't call you out on the chapter 1 thing.
Okay. Oh, that's a good point. Chapter 2, epilogue.
Epilogue.
Twilight, is everything okay?
Spike asked Twilight from the outside of the bathroom.
I'm fine.
Twilight grunted in pain.
Ah.
Are you sure? You've been in there for an hour now.
Almost. Got it. Gah.
Oh my god. Spike heard the sound of a metallic object hitting a pool of water and flinched.
What was that?
With a flush of the toilet, Twilight replied,
I passed the key.
Why'd they have to add this as a whole chapter? Spike stood silent for a few seconds.
All right then.
He really did just give her a key.
Yup. He just implanted it in her stomach or something. Maybe fed it to her somehow.
But why?
Probably in the same drink that he drugged. That's a good question. He should have had the key if he was going to save her or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
He went back downstairs to play with his Rarity doll, avoiding Twilight the rest of the night. Me too. Me too, buddy.
Same Z's, and that was Look Who's Torturing Now by Scooter the Kitty. Scooter the Skitty.
Oh, I think this was like the perfect fic to start out October with.
Yes, it was the right amount of scary mixed with truly horrific. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think this is pretty funny.
Yeah. I definitely...
We now have a Gen 5, a new generation tag you can use on stories without other pony tags, dude.
Fuck yes, bro. Oh man, if we didn't skip that last week, man. I wish we did a Gen 5 story, but
We could have totally done that. Aw, man.
yeah. It's just timing didn't
well.
line up, you know. I had like midterms and stuff.
And
but
I had Overwatch League playoffs.
he had to watch some Overwatch League. So,
But anyway, what would you rate this story out of 5 saws?
out of 5 saws, oh, that's got to be a, you know, I mean, I prefer it to any Saw movie, so I guess 5 out of 5 saws if we're going by Saw movies.
I was just thinking like a hacksaw.
Oh well, I mean, I've used better hacksaws than that. So
Mm.
honestly, in the hacksaw range, I'd say it's like a 1, maybe
All right.
maybe 1.5. But legit though, Saw, I'll give it props. It's better than any other torture porn. In fact, I wouldn't even really call it a torture porn, but technically it's part of the genre, I guess.
Is that just like gore fix with lots of torture to make you scream?
Not gore fix, but
Not fixed movies.
Yeah.
Shows, whatever.
basically.
Oh.
Because it
Yeah, I don't know.
Saw actually tries to do something with it. They try to have a philosophy, even if it's bullshit.
Yeah. For horror movies, I actually typically enjoy the type of just like squeamish horror and stuff, skin crawling stuff, as long as it has like a. That's not the only thing the movie has.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like gory horror movies.
I really like gory horror movies, but when it gets to like torture, like Hostel, I'm like, I get bored by it. I don't know, but I'll watch like a gory horror movie any day of the week.
Yeah. Horror movies is something that, you know, you can just turn on and start watching. It's not usually like a big blockbuster that everyone's gonna be talking about, and I find a comfort in that. You know?
I agree.
So,
But yeah,
hopefully we can find some real scary fanfics this October.
because this just wasn't scary enough. But it truly was
This was just a
horrific.
comedy. We gotta start it out slow, brother.
If you thought this was scary, you don't want to see what's coming next. Next time. Quick, us add a little next time teaser.
Next time on Ross and Wizzy's Fanfiction Power Hour.
In the state of Alabama.
So be sure to tune in next week on Ross and Wizzy's Fanfiction Power Hour.
Oh, man, that teaser was great, probably. I definitely
Oh my
remembered
God.
to, like, record it or something.
Dude, that fic. Dude, that fic is gonna be so sick.
Yeah.
Sick fic, bruh.
Trust me, y'all are gonna want to tune in next time.
Bye.
God, there's a fish hook in my mouth. What the hell?
I'm recording.
Fucking bullshit. Okay, hold on. I gotta find another one to use. Stereotypical characters in horror. Let's see here. Yeah, non-believer, hero, hysterical character, evil character, loved up couple. Nothing I can use there. The black character, probably shouldn't do that one.
Oh no. Ross, don't you dare.
The blonde, doing that for Twilight. The jock, doing that for that one. Sexy bitch, also doing that one for Twilight.
Oh, you could do like the helpless Southern Belle.
I guess, is that a horror trope?
I don't know. I'm just thinking like normally there's either the Valley Girl or the Southern Belle. But you could do